It was almost 3 years ago, I think, also that we started doing this podcast.
Oh my.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I think this is episode 139, and it
Yeah.
it was like June or July that we first did this. So it's not a full 3 years, but um did we accidentally become media people? Like what are we doing here?
God, I hope not. I'd be a lot better at this if we did. um, it's been a real gift. I mean, obviously, like we've always had great conversations, but being able to use it as a platform to explore our curiosities in the space. We haven't done it to make money. I don't really think of it as marketing, but it has created space where, at least in the very least, in times where I'm not traveling as much, I still feel connected to the space and I'm able to like reach out to people that I'm curious about. But more than anything, and I think you'll agree with this, is it's been a little bit of a hack to learn how other people are running their businesses and how to run my business better. So thank you everyone for giving me all the tips to run a better business. But I don't know. I also love I haven't attributed to this because like I've been growing in the space alongside it, but it makes the space feel that much smaller, right? Like I feel very connected to the space. I've always felt a sense of ownership over the industry. And I think it only validates that further, where it's just a true ownership of all the relationships and all the people operating the space and trying to get it done and move it forward. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I resonate with a lot of what you're saying, and I will say that I will say that I am kind of a media person now. I'm trying to accept that. I'm
You
starting
are
to
better
realize.
at it than me. You're just,
Well,
you're
so
less distractible. That's for sure.
well, yes, that's true. But I think that it's more about what I have realized is that there is a hunger for information and real, authentic, deep conversation. And I've realized that because of the feedback that we've gotten from people that have benefited from our conversations. And that's made me want to put out more conversations
Mm.
and to make sure that cannabis news and market dynamics are available to people who want to learn about them. Because we've seen also over the course of our time in the industry, a lot of different media platforms come and go. And I don't have kind of the bandwidth to truly dedicate my whole day to being a journalist. But
Mm, mhm.
I realized that through all of these tools that are available to us in our modern day, that we can drop in and be a part of the conversation and add something to it. And that gives us this sort of public intellectual role within the space that has been really fun, but also has given us access to all these people that we want to have conversations with. So as much as I didn't set out to become a media person, do I hate the idea that I make media now? No, I don't. I'm actually kind of into it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, I do like how it's been a forcing mechanism for me because as like an early stage founder, you do a lot of doing, right? It's just like you know what you need to do to create and it creates your path for you. And as long as you're executing at a good clip in the right direction, you're doing the right thing. But at a certain point, you transition from founder to CEO. And that requires a different lens, right? Hopefully you're bringing on the right people and you're cultivating them to do the right things. And to have that bigger lens of the space and to look at all the different moving pieces. I have appreciated the weekly drop in to see what's happening in the news, think about how it's affecting businesses and like what are the important conversations that people want to hear about. These are the things that, again, I'm reflecting back into my own business as I run it. So it's like a big experiment, a very serious experiment, of course, but uh, um,
Very serious.
yeah. Also, I mean, I will say there's a certain amount of joy that comes to me, like when someone tells me that they've been listening to the shows or they're able to point to a certain episode that resonated with them, and I still have the exact same reaction after 139 episodes. I'm like, wow, people actually listen to this?
Really? we've actually had some great conversations, and I think that you've said that it makes you a better leader to get to talk to all these other leaders, and I totally feel the same way. Folks have dropped some real gems in conversations with us that then I have been able to think about later and be like, "Wow, that's a really smart perspective," and I wouldn't have gotten that perspective if we weren't here being media people once a week trying to have these conversations and also pushing ourselves constantly to be like, well, what's actually interesting at the moment? What do
Mhm.
people care about? So, yeah, it's been a journey and you're right. Like we haven't made money doing this. We had one sponsor one time for like a couple months. We tried it out because we wanted to see what would it would be like and if it would deliver us value or the sponsor, and I'm not sure that it did either, to be honest. Um, but that doesn't mean that the continued evolution of high spirits, is over. I think that there's more for us to keep doing with this platform, and we wanna be doing more of these one-on-one episodes where we can go deep with our audience, and sometimes it's honestly, it's just more work for us to make time to do it this way, because we have to think more about what we wanna bring to the table as opposed to just getting to ask all the questions, so we'll keep doing it.